Okay, all right. So, welcome. So, yesterday we talked about fractional equations, and the first type of fractional equations where you would have to multiply both sides by the reciprocal, right? Or the LCM, right? The lowest common multiple. So, today we're going to talk about the second type of equation involving fractions, okay? And it's a very, very old topic, all right? It's as old as Ah, let's just say back in the seventh grade. Okay, so yeah, let's get started. Okay, all right. Now, the big question is yesterday we were doing these sort of questions, right? Where you got expressions and then later on equations with a bunch of fractions. And we had talked about how to get rid of those fractions, particularly the denominators. So today I'm going to show you a slightly different variation of the question, which looks something like these. Now, some of you might look at this and say, like, OMG, like, what's happening here? Like, why is there an expression on top of another expression as a fraction, right? Because that might be very, disconcerting to look at. So I'm gonna draw a parallel to this, and this is straight from last year and in sixth grade, right? Watch this. How would you have solved this in the seventh grade? So if I were to ask you, right, like, hey, what's the letter X stand for? What's the missing number in this fraction, right? Or in other words, what's the number here that would make these two fractions equivalent, right? What would you have said? Now I know what some of you are thinking. You're thinking, okay, well, uh, two times, this gives you two times two and a half gives you, right? I get that, but in general, right? Because not these aren't always immediately obvious. What would you have done? Yeah, you would have cross multiplied and divide, right? So your seventh grade teacher went into this specifically, right? So in other words, to solve that, you would have done this, right? So 5 times 1 is 5, and that equals to 2 times x, 2x, right? Or even if you just think about it like this, if you were doing this on a calculator, 5 times 1 is 5, and then you just divide it by 2, right? And that's 2.5, right? Same thing here. Look, just cross multiply, right? Now you're gonna have to take a little bit of a leap of faith with me, because this might not be immediately obvious still. All right, now watch this. I'm just gonna rewrite. I'm not gonna do anything crazy. I'm just gonna cross multiply like this, like so. Right? I'm not doing anything crazy, right? 3 times x minus 3. That's all I'm doing. Okay, I'm just not writing the symbol, right? Equals to 8 times 4x plus 2. Right? Again, not doing anything crazy. I'm just rewriting things. Okay? I'm not trying anything wild here. What? Look at this. Now, what does this remind you of? That's right. OMG. This is distributive property. And what's the other topic? Yeah, equations, right? With variables on both sides. That's all this is about. Okay? So let's solve this. 3 times x is 3x, minus 3 times 3 is 9, 8 times 4 is 32x, plus 8 times 2 is 16, right? Look, right? Just a good old two-step equation, right? Subtract 3x on both sides. Okay, maybe not 2 steps, but all right. Negative 9 equals to, what is that, 29x? Is that right? Yeah. Interesting numbers. Subtract 16. Oh wait, oops, shouldn't have done that. That's negative 25 equals to 29x. Divide both sides by 29. All right, it's gonna be some wild fraction. And that's it. Done. Okay, that's how you do it. All right, let's see how much practice. You know what? I'm gonna leave this up here and let you practice. Okay, so how should I do this? I'll move it like this. So press pause right now. Try these two. All right, press pause right now. Look at this as an example. Look at this as an example. Okay, And then with that, try these two. And then when you come back, I'm going to show you the answer key. Okay? All right. So press pause right now. Okay, all right, and we're back. So take a look, all right? Now, while I was doing this, I was thinking to myself, I want to ask you guys this. How do you know if your answer is correct? Like, how do you know if this is correct? How will you know? Yeah, you would substitute, right? Okay, all right, I had a scare. I scared myself, all right? Because I forgot that this was 7. I put a 2 here. Okay, all right. That's a little embarrassing. Okay, so that's -2, and that's -2. That's right, just as I said, okay? All right. So let's see. What now? Okay, there we go. All right, so this is all practice for you. Okay, so not bad, not bad. I think, yeah. So take the next 10 minutes, solve these questions. So here's what I'm gonna do. Let's break this apart. Let's do it like this. Let's go like this. All right, so here's the first 4, and then I'll give you the next 4. So here's the first 4 questions. You know what? Let's break it up this way. Yeah, let's do the first 4. I'll show you the answer key. All right. So, and then we're gonna go ahead and do the same thing for the next 4. Okay. So press pause right now. Okay, all right, and we're back. So these are the 4 answers. Now, look at number 1, right? I mean, look, it's a multiple choice question. I get it. So if you want to substitute that for X, you know, go for it. But in the event that it's not, and you don't want to spend like half a day trying to figure out what the letter X stands for, then, you know, then you will use this method. So, yeah, all right. So press pause right now. Check the answers real quick, or otherwise, you know, as I'm talking, you can check the answers. Okay, let's move on to the next 4. Are there 4 here? Yeah, there are 4 here. There's 1 here, and then it's the other 3. Okay, let's see. You know what? Let me slide. Oh, I can't. Oh, let me move this over here. All right, yep. Go ahead. Press pause right now. Solve these 4, and then again, same thing. I'll show you the answers when you come back. Okay, so press pause right now. Okay, all right, and we're back. Okay, so these are the 4 answers. Actually, that's not even true, Randall. I really thought this was the hardest question. And then I thought this one was pretty hard, and then this one was pretty tough too. So the only thing I really gotta remind you is be very careful when you're doing this part right here. Let me see, let me use a highlighter. Okay, I'm having a very hard time switching the various, yeah, look at this. So one of the things I want to point out to you is that when you're doing this, be very careful with these parts. Like on the left side of the equal sign, is it still recording? Because it's so frozen that I can't tell right now. So be very careful on the left side here. Like all these operations on the left side. You see how like carefully or not I'm canceling out here, right? Like you gotta be, you might have to go slower if this is your first time doing this. Okay, so yeah, that's all I gotta say. So I'm gonna stop now, and thanks for watching.
OMG, that was so good.